Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive into the wonders of Allah's creation.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Today, we're going to be exploring something, that we see and eat every day,
Yeah,
but rarely stop to really ponder, and that's fruits.
fruit.
I mean, when you really think about it,
Yeah,
even the most ordinary apple or banana,
Yeah.
it's actually pretty amazing.
it is.
So I'm excited to kind of, peel back the layers, so to speak, and delve deeper into this delicious and I think often overlooked aspect of Allah's creation. What do you think?
I think it's a great topic. I think, so often we look at fruits as just something sweet and delicious
Right.
to eat, and we don't really think about all the amazing things that go into, creating a fruit. And so I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, and I think, what's fascinating to me is we often think of them, just like you said, as the end product. Right. Like, oh, there's a delicious fruit, I'm going to eat it.
Right, right,
But in reality, it's part of this incredible life cycle of a plant.
right.
And it's got this much deeper meaning and purpose beyond just, satisfying our taste buds.
Yeah, I mean, botanically, a fruit is actually, it's the ripened ovary
Okay.
of a flowering plant. And
Right.
typically it carries seeds, so it's really about, continuing that
Yeah.
life cycle.
SubhanAllah, it's like this little vessel that's
Yeah.
carrying the future, right,
Exactly. Exactly.
of that plant species. Wow.
And there's so many different kinds of fruit, right? It's not just, like you said, an apple and banana.
Right.
There's categories and types.
Yeah, tell me more about that. Like, what are some of the different, families of fruits, so to speak?
Yeah, so you have your, we have simple fruits,
Okay.
which develop from a single ovary and a single flower.
Mhm.
And so things like dates,
Okay.
like apricots, mangoes.
So, like, one date comes from one flower.
One date comes from one flower.
SubhanAllah, that's amazing.
So, that's your simple fruits. Then you have aggregate fruits, which are actually a whole bunch of tiny little fruits
Wow.
all clustered together.
Oh, interesting.
So like your raspberries, your blackberries.
Oh, okay.
Each little
Each little, like, bee.
quadruplet, they're called,
Oh.
is a fruit.
SubhanAllah. So it's like a community, right?
It's like a community of fruits.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Wow, that's incredible.
Then you have multiple fruits, and this is where, a whole inflorescence, so a whole bunch of flowers together, merge
Oh,
and
well.
form one fruit. And that's things like pineapple.
Oh, so pineapple's not just one fruit.
No,
It's a
a whole
whole
bunch of tiny,
a bunch of little flowers that have, like,
Yeah.
merged together.
yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
And then we have accessory fruits. And that's, you're looking at things like apples and pears. And those, it's not just the ovary that develops into the fruit. It's other parts of, of the flower, like the receptacle,
Okay,
is contributing to that fleshy
interesting.
part that you eat.
So an apple's not just an ovary.
It's not just an ovary.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
SubhanAllah, it's incredible.
Right.
It's really, like, I love this idea of, like, it's not just what we see.
Right.
Right? There's
Yeah.
so much more going on
Mm.
behind the scenes. And it's a testament, really, to just how incredible
Right.
and complex Allah's design is.
Yes.
And, speaking of amazing things,
Yeah.
let's talk about how nutritious fruits are. We all kind of know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've been told our whole lives, eat your fruits, they're good for you.
Right.
But why? Like, what is it about fruits
Yeah.
that makes them so beneficial to our health?
Oh, there's so much to unpack there. I mean, fruits are like these little powerhouses of nutrition. They're packed with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, all these things that our bodies need to thrive.
Yeah.
And they're all wrapped up in these delicious packages.
Yeah, like, give me some examples. Like, what are some of the, key vitamins and minerals that we find in fruits, and how do they actually benefit us?
Sure. So, you've got vitamin A, which is so important for our eyesight.
Right.
And you find that in, things like mangoes and apricots.
Oh, okay.
Those bright, vibrant fruits.
So that's why my grandmother always told me to eat carrots, A and D, apricots for my eyes.
Yes.
It makes sense now.
Exactly. Then you have vitamin C, which is so important for our immune system.
Right.
So, all your citrus fruits, your oranges, grapefruits, but also things like strawberries
Oh, okay.
are
Yeah.
packed.
But it's not just about the citrus.
It's not just about the citrus.
Yeah, interesting.
And then, in terms of minerals, potassium is a big one.
Okay.
And it's so important for maintaining a healthy heart.
Yeah.
And you find a good dose of potassium in bananas.
Oh, so that's why, like, athletes often eat banana.
Exactly.
Like, it's not just for the energy, it's for
The potassium.
the heart health as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. And what about fiber? I mean, we hear a lot about fiber.
Yeah.
How does that come into play with fruits?
So fiber, I mean, it's essential for healthy digestion.
Okay.
And, fruits like raspberries, pears,
Okay.
those are high in
Oh,
fiber.
I love raspberries and pears. Maybe that's why I always feel good after I eat them.
Maybe. It helps with regularity. It keeps you feeling full, which can help with weight management.
Right.
So many benefits.
So it's not just about the nutrients themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's also how those nutrients, in combination with things like fiber,
Right.
actually affect how we feel overall.
Exactly. It all works together
Sure.
to create that sense of well-being.
Have you noticed, like, personally, when you eat certain fruits, you just feel more energized?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Some fruits just give you that,
Yeah.
boost of
And
energy.
I love that. And, speaking of feeling good, let's talk about, the health benefits of fruits.
Right.
We've kind of, touched on a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'd love to delve deeper into, like, how does eating fruits regularly, how does that benefit our overall health?
Well, I mean, we talked about immunity, right? Vitamin C is a
Right.
big player there. But fruits also contain antioxidants, and these
Okay.
are powerful compounds that protect our cells from damage.
Okay.
And, they're fighting off those harmful substances, helping us to age gracefully.
Right.
It's pretty amazing.
So it's like, we think of, like, skincare products and things like that.
Right.
But actually, like, what we consume
Mm-hmm.
can have a big impact on
Huge impact.
our skin health.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I've also heard, that eating fruits regularly can help lower the risk of heart disease.
It's true.
Is that true?
Yeah, there have been studies that have shown a strong link
Okay.
between regular fruit consumption and a lower risk of heart disease.
So it's not just, like, anecdotal. It's actually, like,
Right.
scientifically backed.
It's backed by research.
Wow.
And that fiber and potassium we talked about earlier,
Right.
those play a role helping to regulate blood pressure
Okay.
to keep our hearts healthy.
SubhanAllah. It's amazing how something so delicious can also be so good for us.
Right. It's like a gift from
Yes.
Allah.
It is a gift. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
And speaking of gifts from Allah, I'm curious to explore how, fruits are viewed in Islam.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not just a source of physical nourishment, right?
Yeah.
They're mentioned in our holy scriptures.
Yes.
They have symbolic meanings.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to kind of delve into that aspect
Sure.
of fruits as well.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, fruits are woven into the fabric of our faith. The
Okay.
Quran, our holy book, mentions specific fruits
Okay.
and highlights their significance. I mean, dates, for example, are mentioned
yeah.
numerous times and symbolize divine mercy
Okay.
and sustenance.
Okay.
And I mean, the story of Maryam, the mother of Prophet Isa, peace be upon him, when she was in labor, she was instructed to shake the date palm.
Right.
And ripe dates fell upon her,
Right.
providing her with nourishment and comfort during that
Right.
difficult time.
What a beautiful reminder. It's like even in those moments of hardship and difficulty,
Mm-hmm.
Allah provides,
Mhm.
And the fact that it's dates, which are so, special to us, especially during Ramadan, right?
Right.
When we break our fasts with them, following the sunnah of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Yeah. And then you have, grapes and olives,
Right.
which are mentioned together in the Quran as blessings from Allah. And these fruits, along with others like pomegranates and figs, they remind us of the abundance
Right.
and diversity of Allah's creation and the bounty that he has bestowed upon us.
It's amazing how, the Quran not only guides us spiritually, but also really emphasizes,
Mhm.
these natural foods like fruits for
Yeah.
well-being. It's
Yeah.
like, it's a holistic approach.
It is.
It's a life.
Hmm.
It's not just about, the spiritual aspect. It's also about taking care of
Right.
our physical bodies as well.
Absolutely. And, it's not just the Quran, the Hadith, the sayings and practices of
Right.
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him,
Yes.
also offer valuable insights into how we should approach and consume these blessed fruits.
Okay, so spill the beans. What are some of these fascinating fruit facts?
Well, prepare to be amazed. Did you know the largest fruit in the world is the jackfruit?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they can grow up to 2 feet long
Wow.
and weigh as much as 40 pounds.
40 pounds. That's like bigger than a watermelon.
It's massive. And on the other end of the spectrum, the smallest fruit award goes to the Wolffia globosa.
Wolfie, what?
Globosa. It's also known as watermeal. It's so tiny you can barely see it without a microscope.
SubhanAllah, that's incredible.
Okay.
So Allah created this massive jackfruit, A&D, this teeny tiny watermeal.
Exactly. And everything in between.
That's amazing. So from giant to tiny, what about like price? What's the most expensive fruit in the world?
The most expensive fruit, that title goes to the Yubari King melon.
Yubari King melon, what is that?
It's from Japan.
Okay.
And a pair of these melons once sold for over $23,000.
$23,000 for melons. What makes them so special?
They're prized for their perfect sweetness and texture.
Okay.
And they're cultivated under incredibly strict conditions. They're like royalty in the fruit world.
Wow. Well, I think I'll stick to my regular cantaloupe. But that's fascinating to know. You know, we've been talking about all these amazing things about fruits, but I think it's also important to address some common misconceptions. Like, I've often heard people say that all fruits are equally healthy.
Yeah, that's a misconception. While most fruits are good for you,
Right.
some are higher in natural sugars than others.
Oh, okay.
So things like bananas and grapes,
Okay.
while delicious and packed with nutrients, should be enjoyed in moderation, especially if you're watching your sugar intake.
Right.
So, everything in moderation.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like, even with Allah's blessings, we have to be mindful, right,
Absolutely.
of how we consume them. What other misconceptions are out there about fruits?
Another one is that fruit juice is just as good as eating whole fruit.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And while juice does contain some vitamins and minerals,
Yeah.
it often lacks the fiber
Right.
that's found in the whole fruit.
Makes sense.
Plus, a lot of juices have added sugar, which kind of defeats the purpose.
Right, right.
So, always best to go for that whole fruit whenever possible.
Yeah. Get the full package, right? All
Yeah.
the nutrients, the fiber, everything.
Exactly.
You know, as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of fruits, I'm just struck by how much we can learn from reflecting on Allah's creation.
I agree.
It's like it's a constant reminder of His power, His wisdom, His artistry.
Absolutely. Every time you pick up a piece of fruit,
Yeah.
just take a moment to really appreciate it. Think about its journey from a tiny seed
Right.
to the nourishing food in your hand, the
Yeah.
intricate processes, the nutrients it provides, the symbolic meanings it holds across different cultures and faiths.
That's beautiful. And most importantly, let's not forget to thank Allah
Yes.
for these blessings,
Yes.
for this incredible bounty
Mhm.
that He's provided for us.
Absolutely.
Jazakallahu khairan for joining us on this journey.
We're jazakallahu khairan to you as well.
And to all our listeners, may Allah grant you health and well-being. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.